Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today I have on the line with me Miss Nikki Layne. She is the vocalist of Lucid Fly. They have a debut album out right now called Building Castles in Air. So, Nikki, welcome to the show, and how's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me. Everything's going great.
Let's jump right into this.
Yeah.
What's impressed you the most about making the debut album Building Castles in Air? What's caught your eye about it, if any?
I think that, we had a crowdfunding campaign to help fund the album, and I just think that it was amazing how everyone came together and really supported us, and, it took a long time to get the album made, so everybody was patient, and we were just able to put together the product that we really wanted to get out there, so I think it's been an awesome experience.
Does it shock you that a lot of people back this campaign for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just people came out of the woodwork. We were able to raise over like $13,000, which was better than anything we could have imagined. And the response has been really awesome. So,
how was working with producer Forrester, and I hope I pronounced his last name right, Savelle?
Yeah.
Who's also mixed the album also, too. Plus, he's worked with Dead Letter Circus, Carnival, and 12 Foot Ninja.
Yeah.
How was working with him?
He didn't produce it.
Okay.
The band produced the majority of the album. We worked with a co-producer on just the bass and the vocals.
Okay.
And then we actually had Forrester mix and master the album, and he's in Australia. We actually had also worked on one of our previous songs from our last EP called Stasis. So, I mean, Carnival, Dead Letter Circus are some of our favorite bands and some of our favorite sounding albums. So we just knew that we wanted to go and find and work with the producer that, some of our favorite albums. So we were fortunate enough to be able to work with him, and he just does an amazing, he's like a genius.
Your guys' debut EP was Adapting to Gravity, correct?
Yes, that was in 2004.
Right. So is there any songs off these EPs that you guys have released previously that's made this debut album?
No, this new album is all new music. And we actually never even played it out live yet.
Oh, geez. Okay.
We're looking forward to that.
So any songs off the debut album that stand out to you more than any, if possible?
Our single, Visions of Grandeur, is really important. It's about dreaming big. It's kind of what the entire album is about. There's a lyric in there that says building castles in air, and that's where we got the name of the album. But the other song I think that has the most personal meaning for me is Ribbons. It's about my mother had passed away, and it was just about that grieving process and letting go and moving through it. So all the songs are important, but those are the two I think that really stick out.
I've always said this before, music is therapy, and you're actually doing something and playing music. So that's going through something like that. We all have to one of these days, and I hate that people have to do it.
Yeah.
My father's been dead. This November will be 18 years. And,
wow.
It gets easier every day, but you never forget them. You never, ever.
Exactly. I mean, it's been since 2004 for my mother, and,
wow.
It gives you material to write about, but it's not necessarily, what you want to be writing about.
Nikki, how much growth have you seen this band go through up to the release of this debut album for you guys?
The band in general has been constantly evolving, but, the album was just released a couple months ago, and we've had great feedback. We feel like these songs on this album are really a representation of who we've become over the course of, 16 years or more. Mm-hmm. And I feel really excited about what the future holds. I don't really know what to expect. We're kind of just riding the wave and seeing, what happens. But, touring is really important to us. So we hope that's the next part of the process.
So I thought this is pretty cool. How's it feel to be handpicked by Mike Portnoy to participate in 2014's Progressive Nation at Sea Cruise? How was that?
That was amazing. Actually, I didn't even tell my band that I submitted for it. I just saw that they put it, there was something online. He was doing the Progressive Nation at Sea cruise, and he was looking to add a support stage, and like 17 bands were chosen, and I got a call one day. I was in the car, and the guy said that we were chosen, and I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? So we went. It was our first international gig. It was probably the best vacation, if you want to call it that we could have ever done. And just playing alongside, bands like Periphery and Animals as Leaders and John Anderson from Yes and Mike Portnoy, just all hanging out on a boat, at the pool, drinking, doing whatever. It was pretty amazing. It was a life-changing experience.
That was my next question. A cruise festival, as I'm going to call it, versus an actual festival or concert. It's a captive audience. Yeah.
You have nowhere else to go except to the bar and to the pool and to watch. There's multiple stages, and also a lot of the bands played multiple times. So if you missed the set, you were able to see them. It was just totally awesome. And I know he's doing another one, like Cruise to the Edge or something, next month. So I'm sure I don't think it'll hold the candle to the first one, the Progressive Nation at Sea, but I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience.
But and another thing too, it's cool for the fans. I mean, you guys are right there to talk to them. I mean, walking to the bunks or whatever, your rooms. I mean, everybody's right there.
Eating dinner with them, like bands got to, we were able to eat dinner and back where every band, all the artists ate. So sitting next to John Anderson having a bowl of soup was pretty cool.
So what do you hope the fans take away from the new album once they start to listen to it and digest it? What do you hope they get from it, Nikki?
I think that our music has a lot of detail, and I think that you don't necessarily get it on the first listen. Like, there's so much lyrically, and I hope people kind of take the time to give it, some time to ruminate and just to listen and hear. I think we play from our hearts. Lyrically, I write about experiences, but I think a lot of people can relate to. So I just hope that people give it a chance and, spread the word, really.
What can fans expect at a show from Lucid Fly who have not got to see you guys yet? What can they expect?
We're definitely energetic. We're perfectionists, so we always try to, make each show tailored to how we think the night's going to go. We're trying to elevate. We're working on our live show now, so we're trying to elevate and make it more of a visual experience as well. So I think it's just energetic, it's powerful, and it's fun. I like to have fun with the crowd. So,
do you guys prefer the digital era of recording and making albums that we are in today? Or do you guys prefer just to be in a studio and everybody collaborate or send tracks to each other, vice versa? What's your guys' take on this?
I think being in the studio, you can really get that raw, magical experience. But I enjoy, we did everything kind of digitally this time, where we had to pass tracks back and forth, with the exception of actually going into the studio and tracking. There was a lot of time that we were able to hone our craft. Like, if you're just going into the studio and you got to do like 4 or 5 takes and that's it, that's all you have time for, you don't really get to perfect your instrument and the craft, I guess. Mm-hmm. So this time we were able to really take the time with each instrument, perfect it, get it exactly the tones, everything, the textures, exactly how we wanted it. And I think that that's kind of the convenience of being able to do it, either from a home studio, digitally, passing tracks back and forth. I think there are pros and cons to both.
In your own opinion, what does Lucid Fly bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now?
I think there's a lot of music nowadays that, I don't want to say watered down, but that's what I'm going to call it. I think that we really care about the details and speaking from our heart and not really writing music for anybody but what, we like. We really try to write from our heart and just to be true. And I don't know, we never want somebody telling us what to write,
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of people out there that kind of go, if we write this kind of music, we can make more money. And, we're not in it for that. We're in it for the love. We hope money comes at some point, but I don't know. I feel like we are original too. We draw from our influences. So,
what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, that's exactly what I want to do?
I grew up in a musical family. I was around, musicians my entire life. my grandparents were in a band together. My grandmother was the singer. My dad was in a band. He sang and played guitar, and I just knew that I had it in me. And I basically one day was just jamming with my family, and I was like, I kind of want to do this. I want to join a band or create a band and see if this is something that I can pursue. And I never wanted to have any regrets, so right. I did it. And this is the first band I've ever been in, and I'd say it's worked out.
Yeah, for sure. What about your dad, though? I mean, has he said, okay, look, this is what happens when you're a musician, I think you should stay in college or whatever. Has he backed you, gave you great advice on this or what?
My dad's been really supportive of music. I mean, he's never, ever once said, or questioned why I'm doing it. I think right. because he was a musician himself, and he still is. He still plays. He's not in a band, but I think he gets it. I think my whole family gets it. They're all creative painters, artists of all kinds. So it's been a very nurturing kind of family to grow up in. I feel very fortunate to have a lot of creativity around me. So nobody said stay in school. So,
normally they would.
I went to school. I'm educated. But don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Go to school, have they're called street smarts and book smarts. So
Yeah. But I feel like you got to do what you love, and really, I was in school when I started the band, and it was like, okay, I actually am finding this more fulfilling right now, and you kind of got to go with where your heart is. So.
Yeah, or you'll be miserable, man. And that's something I try to tell people that too. Is like, if you don't like doing your job, don't do it.
Right. Exactly. You have a choice.
Any show or moment that stands out to you more than any that you can recall being part of? Like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually doing this right now.
I mean, I feel that way every time I'm up on stage, actually, because I'm kind of a shy person too to begin with. But just I feel like I take on a different persona when I'm on stage, so it's always an awe-inspiring experience to be able to share it with other people, and that people are actually paying attention to our music. As far as specific shows, I would have to say Progressive Nation at Sea was definitely one that stands out. And then some that we did, like in Orlando, we played House of Blues and Hard Rock Live, and some really legendary venues, even here in LA, Viper Room,
Oh yeah.
Just to be able to play legendary venues is like, I can't believe I'm doing this,
Oh yeah, and people, I'm going to say this right now, some folks are never going to have the luxury of playing like the CBGBs and the Rainbow
right.
Clubs and stuff like, used to be, and they've all shut down, and that's a damn shame.
Yeah, it is. A lot of venues, even in LA, are shutting down. Like recently, the House of Blues on Sunset shut down. It's being taken over by hotels. So
what?
Yeah. I think they moved. I think we only have like House of Blues Anaheim and San Diego or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's crazy. Money talks.
Oh yeah, that's true. So is it harder to, I guess, get shows out there now if you're an upcoming band, or no? I mean, from what you're saying, things are shutting down and everything like that.
Well, I mean, where one shuts down, there's always another one opening. So I don't think that there's necessarily a shortage of places to play. I think if you want to play, you can find a place. But as far as legendary venues, some of those are just harder to get into because, the bigger acts coming through probably take precedence, I imagine. But there's always a place to play. You can play on the street corner if you want to.
I probably couldn't raise a dime on that one.
Yeah, right.
It's Mary Had a Little Lamb, fucker. You like it?
Yeah.
Give me a quarter.
Exactly. Here's my hat. Yeah. My tip jar.
I know you guys get these probably, but what's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan, or prior to your shows or after your shows? They come up to you and they tell you, say, hey, look, your music has helped me through a tough time. It's given me inspiration to overcome obstacles, or it's just made me to relax through the everyday bullshit that we go through. What's that mean to you guys?
I mean, those kinds of things mean everything. It goes to show that we are, what we're creating is actually touching people. And, we're not just writing music just to stay in our rehearsal studio and play it for ourselves. ultimately we want people to feel it, to emote, and to get something out of it, and hopefully make their day better, you know. So connecting with our fans is just an amazing feeling. And I think with social media and all that stuff too, it's just been a lot easier for that to kind of be possible. So we're really thankful.
Folks, Lucid Fly's debut album, Building Castles in Air, is out now. So go out and check this band out. Buy some merchandise from them. Nikki, how can they, speaking of that, how can they buy some merchandise from you guys, stay in touch with you all? How can they do that?
You can check out our website, lucidfly.com. We actually just put up a bunch of new merch bundles. We have like CDs, T-shirts, autographed posters, some jewelry, all kinds of stuff on there. So that's the easiest way. We're also available on iTunes and Bandcamp. You can just kind of plug our band name into search Google and we'll come up. You can find us anywhere.
Before I let you go, you care to do a promo for the show?
Oh, absolutely. This is Nikki Layne with the band Lucid Fly, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you so much.